Welcome to HITC Sport. Alright.
Happy New Year!
I mean, what does that even mean? Oh, congratulations on the calendar turning another day. Oh yes, you all deserve a medal. Hang on tight while I go off to bake you all a cake. I mean, as for Arsenal fans, right now, they're probably wishing they could feed Stuart Atwell a pie made of intestines pulled from a sheep's arse. Honestly, this is a fan base who eventually looked at the greatest manager of all time as if he was Piers Morgan in a wig. So Christ, what do you think they feel about a 39-year-old ref who looks like he still lives with his mum and plays Minecraft in his room? Right now, that man began the year 2022 by getting screamed at by frustrated London builders. Men who probably spend their weekdays strangling stray cats on construction sites. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Atwell is the greatest referee in world football. Good Christ, what do you expect from a man who once awarded Reading a goal when the ball didn't even cross the line and should have instead been a corner kick? Right then and there, that man should have had his refereeing license chewed up and spat into a bin. But before we talk about any decisions, I'm sorry, can we just talk about the work that Mikel Arteta has done for the club? I was guilty of thinking that this fellow is just an amateur, pudding brain boss who by rights should be learning his trade in League One. Honestly, when Arsenal appointed this man, someone whose coaching CV consists of fetching Guardiola his custard creams for lunch, I thought it was about as inspiring as electing Stacey Solomon as the London mayor. I know clubs are in business of appointing former legends, but he wasn't even a legend. He was just an average workhorse midfielder. It's like Man United giving the manager job to Darren Fletcher. And honestly, this man had about as much experience managing in the Premier League as my pet dog. And all he did was eat mice and piss on the floor. I mean, it is easy to sit there with a big snobbish look on your face and write Arteta off as some dull as mustard coach who instead should probably just be doing some part-time modelling for ASOS or Boohoo Man. That if he did insist on becoming a football manager, then maybe he should have started off at Rangers in Scotland instead of the pressure cooker of Arsenal Football Club. But just look at Arsenal's performance against Manchester City. I mean, for years, the Gunners have mostly wilted like a pancake made of cheese every time they face one of the English super clubs. Honestly, they just repeatedly get picked off like lumps of expired black and white pudding. But here, Arteta wasn't even in the building. Instead, probably spending the morning sneezing into a hanky and feeling so lethargic, he probably didn't even have the energy to turn on the TV. Instead, he was handing coaching duties to Albert Stuyvenberg, someone who looks about as motivational as receiving a box set of Malcolm in the Middle DVDs. Honestly, this guy is a former Manchester United assistant coach. I mean, he was also number 2 to Ryan Giggs with Wales, so Arsenal fans would be well within their rights to look at this man as if he was some middle-aged Dutch spy. Football's answer to Peter Pettigrew. Honestly, this man was the right-hand man to Ryan Giggs, an Arsenal enemy who's now got such a tattered reputation in the media. I wouldn't be surprised to see him winding up going for picnics with Kevin Spacey and Prince Andrew. I mean, the fact he even has Giggs' number in his phone book, yeah, that would probably be enough Arsenal fans to demand that he have skin peeled off his face. But to be fair, this is your example of the modern day assistant coach. Instead of just sitting there with his hand on the manager's knee, looking every inch football's answer to Wayland Smithers, I mean, was I the only one who thought that Mike Phelan looked like he kept thinking about Fergie in the shower? But no, this fella can often be found swiping through the iPad on his bench with the latest branded AirPods stuffed in his ears. I'm not sure why, he could be listening to Girls Aloud for all I know. But anyway, whatever game plan that Arteta set out, it worked to perfection. And the fact that he was able to get his methods through a man who looks so insufferably boring, I mean, fair play. Arsenal absolutely blew Manchester City out of the water in that first half. They pressed them until within an inch of their lives. Bukayo Saka sticks Arsenal 1-0 up, and the attacking trident of Gabriel Martinelli, Alexander Lacazette, and Saka look dangerous and hungry. I mean, it's telling that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the most naturally talented footballer at the club, and yet these days he just slows down their attack, probably because he's by far the richest man in Arsenal squad, and so clearly now has the hunger of an anorexic cat. I mean, look at the Arsenal team the week before Arteta was hired in December 2019. This was their starting 11 to play Manchester City, a game they lost 3-0 at home. You've got Bernd Leno stuffed in goal, a good shot stopper, yes, but I'm sorry. Compare his personality to Aaron Ramsdale's. It's like comparing the eccentric personalities of Chris Whitty and Mr. Bean. I mean, honestly, can you imagine this man barking orders at his defense in that emotionless, monotone voice? It probably sounds about as intimidating as being yelled at by Stephen Hawking's box. I mean, look at that defense, a back four consisting of a walking cabbage like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, an error-prone Callum Chambers partnering Socrates Papastopoulos, someone who's got more vowels than clean sheets, oh yeah, and a walking Bosnian dishwipe like Shag Kolasinac at left back. Then there's a midfield two of a spoiled brat like Matteo Guendouzi, and an erratic leg swiper like Lucas Torreira. Probably the least disciplined midfield two in world football. And honestly, yes, on paper, the attacking players look brilliant, but again, Nicolas Pepe, Mesut Ozil, and Aubameyang, I mean, all three would probably rather do a KFC mukbang on Instagram rather than, you know, stay back after training. I mean, there is a touch of arrogance about all three players. Against Manchester City at home, and Unai Emery was playing Bukayo Saka at left back in the second half and bringing Joe Willock off the bench. No wonder the Arsenal fans were close to ripping the eyelashes off their face. I mean, listen, Arsenal should have had a penalty in the first half on Saturday. I'm sorry, but Ederson kicks Martin Odegaard's foot. That went to VAR, but the referee wasn't told to check it on the screen. Apparently because it wasn't a clear and obvious refereeing mistake. But it was a mistake. I'm sorry. What? They're saying that they don't want VAR to rule football down to the last millimeter. That VAR is only there to correct easy decisions that the referee should have made. But no, what? So the people in the sweaty VAR studio have seen that it should have been a penalty, but they choose to keep it to themselves? This is like the CIA solving a double homicide, and yet because it's such a hard case to crack, they choose not to tell the local police. Oh, that's great. So right now there's a 13-year-old boy out there who's just chopped the skin off his grandparents' face and he's now running amok with a pair of scissors. This doesn't make any sense. This should have been an Arsenal penalty. Ederson, he kicked his foot. But I'm sorry, whisper quietly, but Arsenal fans, that's not why you lost this match. The reason is that Granit Xhaka left his brain on the coffee table, choosing to grab the shirt of Bernardo Silva in the box. I don't understand this. You are a nearly 30-year-old seasoned footballer. You can whine like a diabetic sheep all you want, but you're the one who placed your hands on Silva's body. Sure, he ran into your knee, but you gave the referee the chance to award the penalty when you tried to rip the shirt off his back. Honestly, as soon as that happened, Kieran Tierney looked so worried, he immediately resembled something out of Wallace and Gromit. And then, in the middle of an Arsenal meltdown, where the senior player showed the composure of a priest in Disneyland, Gabriel Magalhaes then decides to try and scuff up the spot.
All that money they've got, that club, and they've got to cheat. They had to cheat. They had to cheat, let's be honest, they had to cheat with the dive.
I'm sorry, Lee, but what Gabriel did, that is the definition of cheating. A penalty kick is supposed to be a fair opportunity to score a goal, right? Well, how is it fair when he tries to make the penalty spot now resemble the inside of a bird's nest? Picking up a yellow card for that was brain dead. But then a minute later, he picks up another yellow card for dragging Gabriel Jesus back. The man looked furious with the referee, but honestly, he should be getting ready to kiss that man's face because he has just saved you from becoming the Arsenal scapegoat. But I haven't missed it. I haven't forgotten this. This was idiocy. You have lost your club the game. Yes, I know this guy looks like a 40-year-old centre back. Let's not forget, he's only just turned 24 and yet to be capped by Brazil. So he does have a lot to learn, but honestly, what sort of cauliflower brain do you have? Scuffing up a penalty spot is such a petty offence. I mean, it's like winding up in jail for pissing in a playground bush. It is such a stupid and moronic thing to get sent off for. Christ, it's just so needless. Christ above. It's like if Bill Cosby goes back to prison for robbing a box of Pringles from a shop. Gabriel, trying to scuff up the penalty spot in the Premier League. No, this isn't the Brazilian beach. You're not playing on the side of a Hungarian mountain. This isn't even some farmyard bog in Swindon. This is a pristine, undamageable, top-of-the-range turf. So you trying to just lazily scuff it up with your boot, it's like trying to damage a golf course or a tennis court. I mean, I might have expected that from David Luiz, someone who looks like Sideshow Bob but has the brains of Sideshow Mel. But Gabriel, honestly, what were you doing?
Hard to accept it, but only God knows everything. Proud to be part of this team. Amazing spirit. We will keep fighting together, fighting until the end. For the team, I will run until I die. Let's keep improving in 2022.
I'm guessing, since Gabrielle jumped straight onto the internet, twittering like a hormonal teenage girl, I'm guessing that nobody has actually told him that, yes, he lost Arsenal the match. Sure, in the dressing room they were probably all blaming the referee, but does no one want to point the finger at him? I mean, let's be honest, Stuyvenberg's not going to do it because clearly as an assistant coach, he most likely is the backbone of a dead squirrel, but anyone else? Captain Lacazette maybe? Tell Gabriel some home truths. Hard to accept it. He's acting like some sort of victim here. No, Gabriel, you are the one who showed the footballing intelligence of a dead cat. I'm sorry, but you... in that moment, you were the Brazilian Felipe Senderos. This isn't the referee's fault, it's yours. So let me get this straight. Jesus draws the red card. Magalhaes got sent off while Martinelli misses an open goal. So I'm guessing that for the next few days, Arsenal fans who don't want to hear the name Gabriel ever again, I mean, thank Christ Christmas is over, or otherwise some frustrated Arsenal fans would probably turn up to their children's nativity plays and instantly feel like punching the 9-year-old angel in the face. And not only that, but the Arsene Wenger puff piece was just released on Amazon. A documentary which reminded everyone how he was run out of town, and that was directed by Gabriel Clark. Honestly, Arsenal fans, the word Gabriel now probably fills you with instant dread and regret. But listen, the last minute toe poke winner from Rodri, that would have been difficult to stomach, especially considering he morphed into the modern day Adebayor to run off and celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans, stripping off like some sort of Ralph Lauren model and flexing his six-pack in front of the crowd. Q getting a bunch of Coca-Cola bottles thrown at his face. Honestly, that corner of the pitch near the corner flag, that just looked like a bin that exploded outside of McDonald's. Listen, great important win for Man City, incredible performance by Arsenal for an hour, and they are in a good place moving forward under Arteta. But honestly, Gabriel, that isn't a mature, confident leader of a centre-back. No, that is a petulant, immature child who's got the composure of Oscar Pistorius in a urinal. Honestly, if Arsenal want to move forward, I think you need to seriously consider upgrading and finding a less bird-brain centre-half partner for Ben White. Honestly, Gabriel, inexcusable. Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Alright, am I being too harsh on Gabriel? No. It's that simple. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.